Good morning, everybody. RV Prepperist Wayne here. Today we have a 2004 Southwind RV. It's on a Ford F-53 chassis. And what we're going to be doing is replacing the emergency brake on here. Now this is not typical of a emergency brake on your car or your truck. Normally on your car and your truck, your emergency brake is on the rear wheels. Well, on this chassis here, it is actually on the drive shaft itself. So I have to crawl under there and drop the drive shaft and pull the assembly off and replace that. But you have to think safety on this because of two things. One, you have no emergency brake to hold the coach from rolling, and two, the drive shaft normally will keep it from rolling, but the drive shaft's going to be out, so it's like it's in neutral. So think safety. I'm going to block all four wheels on this and make sure it's stable, it's not going to roll anywhere, and then we'll crawl under there and assess how we're going to pull everything off and tackle this job. Stay tuned, this could be interesting. Here's the brake gum on the back of the transmission, and it's bolted in and held by the drive shaft and a big plate here. I've already broke the bolts loose. These are 12 millimeter, and these are 6.17 millimeter. I've already got them all broke loose, but I can't drop this yet because what I have to do is this is a three-piece drive shaft. You have to drop this carrier bearing here and that carrier bearing there. That way you can move the drive shaft up out of the way. You can't just take this carrier bearing here out and try to slide the drive shaft over. You'll end up damaging your carrier bearing, and you don't want to do that. So, and then what I'm going to end up doing is resting the drive shaft on my jack stand. So let me get all that loose and dropped, and then I'll show you what we do getting into here. This is the part that I'll film while I'm doing it. That way you can kind of see and know if you have one and need to replace them. I'll show you what to do. Also, these have a plug. This takes 4 ounces of automatic transmission fluid. I'll show you where that plug is here shortly. Okay, I have the drive shaft out, and what I ended up doing is once I pulled this carrier bearing here out, I undid it from the U-joints here, saved me from pulling the whole thing out. But here's the thing. This is a ZF emergency brake. This is a lot different than the ones that I've seen on mine. The only way to get this apart is you have to pull the whole unit here completely off from the transmission. Taking these bolts out does nothing to remove this big plate off to get the drum off, because this is a big long yoke and there's a nut on the inside in there, big nut. Well, you have to pull the whole thing apart to get it off, and that is a lot more labor intensive. It is a lot more costly to get that apart than what I originally anticipated. So I contacted the customer and talked to him and explained the situation to him. I even explained that there's still quite a bit of adjustment here that I can use to pull the emergency brake so it'll hold. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to adjust this brake a lot more to where it holds the coach. So I have to say This one has defeated me. Now I can pull it apart and rebuild the whole unit, but it's the rebuild kit is roughly $180 for this. Plus the labor is a lot more than originally planned. Labor to rebuild something like this, I would end up charging between $600 and $800 because these units are a lot. It's not just an unbolt. There's certain things that you have to do. There's seals and everything else that's inside. So what I'm going to do is putting it back together. I'm going to make sure that it has the fluid in it, which I'll show you the fill port. You have to make sure these have fluid in them because that's what lubricates that on the inside with the bearings and everything. Oh yeah, you can see right there is a fill port. What I got to do is pull that out and make sure that it's full of fluid. There's only holds about 4 ounces in there. That's just enough to lubricate the bearings and everything. So we're going to make sure that is full. Okay, to adjust this, first thing you want to do before you do anything is loosen up your lock nut here. So what we're going to do is I've got it loose and I run it up quite a bit. Now what I'm going to do is pull the pin here out. You're going to pull the clip out and I'm going to pull the pin out. I'm going to push up here on this arm a little bit, take the slack off. Now to make the brake tighter, you're going to turn this clockwise. So I'm going to go 1, 2 full, 3, 4. I'm at 4 rotations there. I'm going to push this back up and slide my pin back in. Okay. And I can wiggle the drive shaft here. Okay. Now I'm going to go in and set the emergency brake. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot tighter than what it is. You don't want to tighten it up too much where this drags, because you have seals in here, and once you heat them seals up, this will create a lot of extra heat, burn the seals out, which will in turn burn the gears up because the oil will actually leak out. So we know we don't have any leaking of the seals inside because this is all perfectly dry. So I'm going to go set the emergency brake now and make sure this doesn't turn any. Okay, I have it adjusted all the way. I can't adjust it no more. And it's not holding like it should. It does hold, but not, you know, when you hit the gas a little, it wants to move. So it's not like it should. The linings in here need replacing. But that involves pulling the whole bunch of this completely apart and everything. That's real labor intensive and it's expensive. And right now, you know, the main thing he wants is the emergency brake to work. But it's working a little bit, but not like it should. So the only thing I can do is talk to him and let him know, you know, that it's going to end up having to come completely apart. We'll have to order the whole kit to rebuild it. And then, you know, get it apart and get it rebuilt. So not every job goes as planned. Sometimes, you know, it's a little bit more than what I thought, and it can bite you in the ass in the long run. But I'm going to pick all my stuff up. I'm done. I can only do the best I can. I'm only human. Yep, this has defeated me. Okay, I have the emergency brake fixed the best I could. I have it adjusted all the way out. It barely holds. The whole unit needs actually taken off and rebuilt, which is labor intensive and it's kind of expensive. For me to pull one off and rebuild it like that is in the neighborhood of $600 to $800. So I've got him fixed the best I can for a lot cheaper than that for now. And then we'll see what he wants to do as far as getting that rebuilt. We have to order the kit. The kit itself is around $180. And you know, a lot of people say, you know, why is the labor so expensive? It's time consuming, crawling under there, getting it all off, getting it rebuilt. You know, you'll have 6 to 8 hours in doing some of that. So I've got him done best I can. I can't win them all. Questions, comments, please like and subscribe. Give me that thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video.